welcome to Topper Machine. I'm Josh Topper. So if you've watched any of my early stuff, you've seen several videos with the metal planer mill. That is this machine here. This is an 8-foot American Toolworks planer that's been converted to a milling machine. So I bought this thing at auction a few years ago, and it had been stripped down of all of its planer drive by the previous owner, and they had a mill head on it, which I did not get. I had to buy this head separate and add it to it. And it was in pretty good shape, actually. The previous owner had put this DC motor on here, and then they had control boxes mounted over there, over here, and over here for the drive control, which in order to start and stop the drive, you had to do it from over here. For speed and direction, you had to do it from over here, and there was another control over here. Not user-friendly, so then I built and redid everything and put all of the control in this box that's actually mounted on a swing arm, so you can move it wherever you want. We have our speed and direction control and a main power emergency stop, and this is the Bridgeport motor control right there. So now my apprentice and I, about a couple weeks ago, decided that it looked hideous, and we completely cleaned her up, stripped her down, and repainted everything to make it look nice, and then polished the table and cleaned up the table the best we could. And this thing came out absolutely beautiful. We were very happy with it. And then I added, these are conveyor belts here that attach to the end of the table just to protect the ways from chips. So with that, let's get the bar over here and get the job going. So the job today is to take this piece of 1¼ by 2 cold rolled and mill a 3/4 by 3/4 groove in it, the full length. And we're gonna go ahead and set this up. We're actually gonna climb mill it, and we're gonna use this 6-flute end mill that one of my viewers sent to me. Now this is a wavy cut. It's kind of a roughing, but kind of a finishing end mill, so we'll see what the final cut looks like. And we're gonna do it in one pass, or try to. And we're also gonna use a cold air gun for cooling, because I don't run coolant on any of these machines just because it's so messy, so we're gonna run a cold air gun and see how it goes. So I'll go ahead and get this set up and we'll get cutting. So it took a little bit of doing, and I had to redo my setup just a little bit, but you know, for cold rolled, that's pretty good. Be almost impossible to get it any closer than that. And there's halfway, and we've been within 1 thou. I'm very happy with that. And overall, the full length is looking really good. So we'll go ahead and run this back to the start and start getting our cutter in there. All right, so I'll start cranking her around and getting her into position to start cutting. And we're actually going to run it in back gear at 135 RPM. And then we'll have the cold air gun on it as well. And I'm just getting it close. And we'll go ahead and touch it off. Now in order to set this, I have to use indicators on everything, and believe it or not, there is a 3-axis digital readout coming for this thing, and we'll do a video on the install of that. Okay, so we'll just go ahead and get our indicator set up over here. And I like to go right off the rail. And I want a little bit of working area. All right, go ahead and start up our spindle, and I'll bring it down till it touches. There, she just touched. I backed it off a little. I'm going to move it down just to see where we are. Okay. Right there. I'll go ahead and move my indicator. Now I need to go 750 thousandths deep. So we'll just turn her down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 50. Right there. Now I'm just going to bring it over once I move my indicator so I know where I'm going. Don't forget that part. Definitely need my digital readout on this thing. And that day is coming very quickly. Okay, so now I'm going to bring it over to touch it off. There it is. Back it out 5. And then I'll run the table just a little bit, make sure we aren't touching. It looks like 5 was about right. Okay, and you can see it was just touching at the bottom, so that was just right. Shut the mill off. Now we'll go ahead and move her over 750 this way. And there's our 750. I'll lock down the head so she can't move on us. These fucking GoPros are junk. All right, so I gotta apologize. We lost a little bit of the setup. We are set up now. We are 3/4 by 3/4 with our 1-inch end mill. We're gonna take full depth of cut, and we're gonna go ahead and feed this. Now, the reason I lost the footage is these GoPro cameras are just garbage. They're getting worse and worse. I've had nothing but problems the last several months, and GoPro hasn't done anything to, they've been less than helpful. So I think we're gonna be looking at new cameras here real soon. So anyway, let's get back to the job. We'll get our camera moved in here. We'll get this started. We'll get the cold air gun on and let's start cutting. So it's very noisy, but it's not turned, the chips aren't blue, it's cutting nicely. Looks like it's working really well. We're better than halfway. So it's, well, not quite halfway. I take that back. We're better than a third. And it's cutting very nice. I'm very happy. The compressor's cycling on and off like it should. So it's all looking good. Now these cold air guns, they exhaust heat out the back, and it's blowing a lot of heat out back here, so it's definitely doing its job. All right, we'll run it back and we'll see what we got. Doesn't look bad at all, actually. And the chips never got really hot except for right there at the end. Seemed like it did its job very well, actually. All in all, this thing looks pretty good. Let's just check it here in a couple spots. With very little burr, but I'm still gonna take my file just to make sure. That one's good. And it looks like we're good here. Let's just see that she held that all the way through. That's perfect, dead nuts on. Yeah, perfect. Came out absolutely perfect, one end to the other. I'd say that'll work. Now I gotta drill a few holes in this. This is for a guide rail for a customer, and we'll get this thing done and he can get this thing to work. Well, now for the fun part, let's take this thing off and see how much it flexed. If those of you who watched my early planer videos seen when you take the material out how much they move. You on this cold rolled, it really likes to flex because you're taking that internal stress out. So be curious to see what this actually does, if anything. All right, there's the last clamp. Wow, that actually held. She didn't bounce. She looks really straight too. That came out nice. Well, that came out really nice. I'm very happy with that finish. And if you're wondering about these little pusher clamps that I have here, I made in another video and in my early stuff some much bigger ones. And these have been absolutely incredible for either on here or on the boring mill or radial drill. They're just handy. And they just push the part and keep tension on it, and it does not move. So check that out if you're interested in one of my older videos. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. That was a fun project for the machine to see what I could do with it as far as full depth. I mean, 3/4 by 3/4 is a heck of a cut with a 1-inch end mill, a 1-horse Bridgeport J head, and a cold air gun to cool it, and it did extremely well. I'm very impressed with how it handled it. So very happy with the machine that was going to go to scrap. And I rescued it, saved it, and put it back into service. It's been a good asset here in the shop and been doing a lot of work here. So if you like the video of this machine, check out the planer mill playlist. There's more videos of it there. And until next time, get out in your shop and get it done right the first time.